It's time now for Soccer Chatter with Chuy Loera, who has been heavily involved with the soccer program in Great Bend for a number of years, whether it's been as a player or now as a coach for the Panthers. But he serves as our soccer insider as we get to kind of dive into, well, I guess around the state, Chuy, on what's going to happen for this upcoming fall for boys soccer. And I guess for you and many, many others out there across the state, this is kind of an exciting time of the year as the season gets close.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clean slate for everybody. All coaches are, of course, optimistic about what their teams can do. And so everyone feels good at this point up until you start playing those first 2-3 games and you really figure out where you're setting at in the state. But as of right now, the preview that I got here, starting off in the 6A, let's start with the East teams. Going off of the championship game last year, you got Blue Valley West and defending champs Shawnee Mission East. Both of those teams winning programs, winning history. And so I don't see why both of those teams can't make it to the top again in 6A this year. With the sleeper team, which probably doesn't make a lot of sense with Mill Valley being a sleeper team, but I don't think too many people are going to pick them as of right now to be in that championship game. So I'm going with them as a sleeper team to upset some teams and maybe even end up in that Final Four situation. Going down to 6A. 6A lost probably arguably one of the best coaches in that they have, with Dodge City losing Coach Saul to the Kansas City area. But their AD did a phenomenal job in hiring Coach Raul de la Torre to step in. So I really don't see Dodge City losing a step. If anything, they're going to continue the trend and maybe even move up. That guy is a top-quality coach. He's involved all the way from their youth development all the way to the semi-pro ranks. And so that guy's got a lot of respect from the community there. And I see him continuing to take Dodge City in the right direction. In the 5A East, you got nationally ranked Blue Valley Southwest. They're in the final. It seems like every year, 7 out of the last 8 years they've been there. And so it's only right to assume that they're going to be a favorite again for the 5A. Spring Hill, they lost to St. James in the quarterfinal. I think they got enough returning experience in the playoffs to being early in the 5A East. And so I look forward to seeing them still playing when November comes around. 5A West, you got May South and Blue Valley Southwest, which, of course, those two teams, it seems like they live in the 5A title game. It seems like, I think, what is it? They're in the championship conversation already. They've been there the last 3 seasons, and I think out of the last 5 or 6 seasons they played for that championship game. Going past those two teams, I think Salina South, they've got a good chance. They've won a state championship game before. They won, I think, 17 games last year with the 4th place finish in 5A. They've got plenty of talent. We've seen them play also in the summer. Coach Trey Crow's done a good job of keeping those boys disciplined. They got a good team soccer culture over there. And combined with the talent they've got, another 4A finish isn't out of the question, with maybe their 3rd semifinal appearance also. Now, this sleeper team, I'm probably going to get a hard time from our Great Bend faithful here, but sleeper team, Hayes.
Okay, I like it.
Don't tell anybody I picked them, but they posted a 10-win season last year in a very competitive WAC conference. I still don't think WAC gets enough credit for the quality of soccer that we can provide here. But they played well against every opponent last year, and they lost to the eventual state runner-up in May South, and they played them pretty close, 1-0 in that quarterfinal game. So I think Hayes has enough pieces to not only challenge every opponent, but possibly sneak into the late rounds again in the 5A playoffs. Everyone in 4A is aware of what Rose Hill can do. So with a pair of state championships already, the Rockets are going to be a problem for 4A again, a problem for anybody in 4A this year. So Wichita Trinity, my second pick. As long as they get past Bishop Miege in the playoffs, I think they continue to trend well, and they could very possibly be in the 4A title game again this year. They've had like 3 different coaches in the last 5 years, and it doesn't matter. Wichita Trinity, when it comes to 4A soccer, they win games.
Yeah.
Sleeper team, Breen Academy, they lost to Wichita Trinity, but Wichita Breen Academy, I think they mix in some 6A teams. I know they add in some 5A teams, so it gives them good experience going into the 4A playoffs, and so I think they're a fair choice for a sleeper team. And then McPherson's going to be my last team that I can pick for a sleeper team. They can compete with anybody. They live in an interesting area where they're playing 6A teams with Hutch. They're playing strong teams like May South, and so they're mixing it in with top 5A, 6A teams, and that's going to put them in a good place with that experience again to make a strong case for themselves once playoff soccer gets near. So I know that as of right now, that's just kind of a preview, but I think those are fair choices to look for when playoff soccer rolls around. But really, in soccer, it's a race to 10 wins. Once you get to that 10-win spot, then you can kind of dial in a little bit more as far as who's going to really make a good push for those once regionals comes around. But as of right now, I think we're sitting pretty good at what we've got picked here.
Chuy, appreciate the time. Look forward to touching base with you later on in the season to see how some of those picks are going.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and I look forward to talking to you again.
That is Soccer Chatter with Chuy Loera, our soccer insider. Stick with us. We'll have our next level talent after this.